Hi guys, it's Amy with A to Z Stamping.com, and today I wanted to show you a technique for making a twist pop-up card. And I have a couple examples here that I made earlier. Cute, right? This one right here is made with the Eastern Palace Suite paper, the Eastern Medallion Thinlits, the Eastern Beauty stamp set. Really cute. This one here is the papers from the Pick a Pattern designer series paper. I cut this from the Flourishing Thinlit dies. Some crushed curry ribbon. Used the triple banner punch. Really cute, right? But watch what happens when you open these cards. It's a twist pop-up card. So cool, right? See that? And see inside, you have room to write your sentiment down here. This one is a thank you card. Thanks, thanks, thanks. You do a little stamping, designer series paper inside. So cute. Let me show you the other one. So this one, to think of you is to smile. Again, another thank you card. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Isn't that so cool and so fun? And they're really easy to make. So I'm going to show you how to make these today. All right. So first thing we need is 3 different sets of paper. So you need one color of cardstock, and that's going to be your, let me show you here. So you need one color. I used crushed curry on this one to be your card base, and it's also going to be this part inside. So you pick a color for that, and for this project I'm going to go with powder pink. So you need a piece cut at 11 by 4 1/4, and it's scored at 5 1/2. And I'll just fold this right now while we're thinking about it. This is our card base right here, and the card opens this way. Again, so it's 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. And then we need a piece cut at 3 inches by 10 3/4. So 3 inches by 10 3/4, and that's all you need of that color. Then you'll need a designer series paper, and I am using from the Fresh Florals designer series paper. This is the powder pink paper. You need 2 pieces cut at 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then you need 1 piece cut at 4 by 5 1/4. So they're very similar. This one's just a 1/4 inch wider. All right, and this is the powder pink from the Fresh Florals designer series paper. So pretty. And then the last thing you need is another solid cardstock. In this card I used Very Vanilla, so that's going to be the inside, this inside part here. So for this card I used Very Vanilla, and in this card I used Whisper White. So see, can you see in there? It's the inside to make the pop-up part, and it's also going to be what you stamp on in here. So for this card I'm going to be using Whisper White, and you need a piece that is 8 1/2 by 10 3/4. So this is just a standard Whisper White 8 1/2 by 11 piece, and I just cut a 1/4 inch off the bottom. And then you need 2 pieces cut at 2 3/4, 2 3/4 by 2 1/2. And you need 2 cut at 2 3/4 by 2 3/8. All right, so they're just a tiny bit bigger than these ones, just a tad. All right, and that's all the paper you're going to need. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to use is your Simply Score scoring tool, or whatever scoring tool you have. I love the Simply Score. See, it's nice and big, and it's nice for when you have a lot of scoring to do. It comes with the stylus. Let me make sure I can get this all in the shot here. All right. So we're going to take this paper here that was cut at 8 1/2 by 10 3/4, and we're going to put it in the 8 1/2 along the top right now, and I'm going to use the skinny end of my stylus. And I'm going to score this at 2 1/4, so 2 1/4, 4 1/4, and 6 1/4. All right, then I'm going to rotate my paper, and I'm going to score it at 3 7/8. So there's, you just count in 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you're not sure how to do 7/8, and it's the mark right before the 4. So 3 7/8, 5 3/8. So count in 3. 1, 2, 3. So 5 3/8, and 6 7/8. So 6 7/8. That'll be the mark right before the 7. All right, and we can set our scoreboard aside. And now we need to do a little bit of trimming. So as you can see here, I've got my score lines, and here's my center. We're going to cut these 4 rectangles off the 4 corners. We're going to cut those away, and we're going to notch these in a bit, and I'll show you what I mean. So you just want to cut really straight along the score line because this will be showing. So we're just going to cut straight up with our trim or with our paper snips, and then cut up this one. And then I like to just notch this out. I cut a little pie piece. What I mean is I'm just going to cut a little pie piece up like this. See that? So this little sliver, we just cut it out. All right, just like that. And you can do it quicker just by cutting the little notch out first. So I'll do my little pie piece up to the corner and then cut this way. Save myself a step. All right, 1, 2, 3. And my little notch. Excuse me. And 4. Okay. I know this is kind of the boring part, but this is the part. I like to keep these parts in my video, so if you're following along and making this at home, you can do it at the same time. All right, and you guys know me. I don't like to edit really anything out, especially not mistakes. See, like that, I didn't go up enough. I just will snip that out because I like to be totally real life. There we go. And hold on to these pieces because you will be using one of them. So we'll just set those aside. All right, so here's what we've got. And you see how we have our middle X right there. So I want to first score this. So I'm going to score it the opposite direction. Hold on now, my phone is ringing, just a second. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so we're going to score this in. So we're just gonna fold it in. Use our bone folder. All right, and open this back up. Okay, now we're gonna use this. This is probably the trickiest part of the whole card, and it's actually quite simple. We're gonna use this center X here as our center point, and I like to put my bone folder right there to keep that center point. And we're gonna pull this down. And now we're going to line up this score line with the score line down here. It's actually quite easy to see, and I'm going to line them up. So can you see that? I'm lining the score line with the score line, keeping my center point right here. And when I have it lined up, I use my bone folder to crease and crease. All right, so there we go. There's that one. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So keep my center line here, fold it down, line up my score line, and press. All right, there we go. See? So simple. And watch this. Ooh, it already folds down perfectly. There's nothing we need to do. So at this point, I like to just make sure it's all kind of lined up nice and straight. Sometimes your little point needs a little bit of work. I want to get it nice and lined up here straight. Okay, and then I just give it a nice little press with my bone folder. Okay, there we go. Okay, and now we're going to set this aside. Okay, our next step now is we're going to pull our Simply Score out again. And this time we're going to score the 10 3/4 by 3 inch piece of cardstock. That would be this one. So 10 3/4 by 3 inches. And we are going to put it this way along the top. Gonna grab my little scoring tool here. And I'm going to score this at 2 5/8. So 2 5/8. So right here. And I'm going to score it at 5 3/8. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to score it at 8 1/8. So 8 and move in 1. 1/8. There we go. Okay. Put that away. All right. So now we're going to fold this in to score the center score line. And with our outer ones, we're going to fold them back in toward the center. So we're going to go back this way toward the center. Looks like my... And as you can see, there's a little bit, it doesn't reach all the way to the end. That's what we wanted. That's normal. Let me flip it over and do this one back toward the center. Okay, and I should have an M. Yep, an M, just like that. Okay, perfect. So now we want to get our front of our card. This is when you would decide what your design is going to be on the front of your card. And just to save time, I already got mine all figured out. So what I did was I'm going to put on the front, let's see, this piece of Designer Series paper, and this was the one that was 4 by 5 1/4. And it's going to go on my front just like this. But I want to put an embellishment on the front first. So I stamped this piece right here, and I used the Floral Phrases, this guy right here, this little rose, and I cut it out with my layering ovals on Whisper White, and then I did a scallop from the layering ovals framelit dies in the powder pink, and that's going to go right on the front. This is just going to be a really simple, sweet powder pink birthday card. And I have the finely woven powder pink 3/8 inch, or this is the 1/2 inch ribbon. So I'm just going to cut a little piece here. And again, you can decorate the front of your card any way you want. The point of this video is to show you how to make this pop-up card, but I just wanted to, I need to decorate it while I'm going. So if you'll just bear with me for a second here, I'll just get this all done up so that you see the steps that you need to follow. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this around. I just put a little bit of adhesive on the end of my ribbon just to stick it down. Okay, and while I have it flipped over, I'm gonna put my adhesive on. Okay, and we'll stick this to the front. All right, just like that. I love this new powder pink, so pretty. All right, and then I'm gonna take a little bit more ribbon, and I just want to fold it into a V, like so. And this I'm going to put on right here. And I think I'm just going to, I'm going to use a glue dot. So let me grab a glue dot here, a mini glue dot, and stick this on just like so. Okay, and I think I need another one right underneath. Need another glue dot right here just to keep the flap down. Glue dotting my hands to the paper. All right. And then I'm going to trim my ends. Just like so. Cute. And I'm going to then stick this on, and I've got some dimensionals here on the back. 1, 2, let's see, 3, and 4. Now, if you're going to do anything super bulky, I would wait to add that to the very end after you've done the inside of your card, but this is fine, so this isn't going to bother too much. Pretty. And then I want to stamp. I'm going to use the Butterfly Basics stamp set, and I'm using this Happy Birthday right here. I'm just going to stamp that in basic black. So this right here, I use the powder pink ink. That's this one right here. And now I'm just going to grab basic black because I thought, oh, black, that goes good with powder pink. And we're going to just stamp the Happy Birthday right onto the card. Okay, so let's make sure we're nice and inked up. I love the photopolymer stamps because I can see if it's all inked up or not. I'm actually going to open it like this. Okay. And I'm going to stamp it right here at the bottom. Happy birthday. Okay. Looks good. Okay. So there's the front of my card. All right. So now I'm going to set that aside. And now we need to do the inside of our card. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the I'm going to take these white pieces right here. So we have these 4 pieces. So 2 of them are cut at, they're all cut at 2 3/4, and 2 of them are 2 3/4 by 2 1/2, and 2 are 2 3/4 by 2 3/8. So what I like to do is I like to take just a tiny bit of adhesive, just the tiniest little bit, and stick it on the back. And now this is when the grid paper comes in handy. I'm going to line it up on my grid paper perfectly. So we want the smaller ones on the outside, so the small one, then the little bit bigger ones, and I want to line them up perfectly up against each other. Come on, there we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, and this is when you would stamp. So I'm going to use this stamp right here and this stamp again. And I'm going to stamp across all 4 of these. Let's see, will this work? This should work. And I'm going to use the powder pink. And I'm showing you this part because it doesn't matter what stamped images you do and how you decorate these, but I want to show you it's really important that you line them up like this. You could use washi tape to hold them down if you don't want to put adhesive on the back or Post-its, but you're going to stick them out and you're going to go along all of them, but then so that you have a continuous pattern. This looks super cool using that Star of Light stamp, that my most favorite stamp, that swirl. It's so cool. Okay, so let's ink this up. Okay, and I'm going to stamp this across the bottom. Let's see. We're going to go 1, 2. And I'm just going to keep it going. 3, 4. And it looks like I need a little bit more. Okay, there's that one. All right, I got a little bit off, but that's okay. And then I'm going to take the rose again. And I'm going to stamp this on. So I want to do one right in the middle. 1. Okay, and I'm being kind of fast and messy right now, so this is, I'm getting too much ink on my, it's my own fault though, because I'm using way too big of a stamping block right now, but it's just what I have out, so I'm being lazy. Okay. All right. Go one more right here. Okay. And now I'm going to clean that off. I'm going to take this little sentiment off the Butterfly Basics that says sending wishes your way. And I'm going to stamp that. Sorry, let me close my powder pink before I get that everywhere. And I'm going to stamp that in basic black. Sending wishes your way. Okay, how you decorate the inside though totally doesn't matter. It's up to you. You can make it however you want, and there's a lot of cute ideas you could do. Sending wishes your way, sending wishes your way. All right, I like it. All right. And that's my little inside pieces. All right, so now let's assemble our card. So first what I want to do is I want to take this piece right here. And I'm going to take this, our little, I think it looks like a house. Okay, we're going to open this up. And we want to adhere this down. So this line right here, we want to be center with this line. And we want to make sure that we get it on there exactly where we want it. So let me see here. So that when this closes, okay. So it looks like about right here. Line it up exactly. Okay, and you want to hold this down. There we go. Okay, you guys, let's make sure we do it the right way. You want this V sticking up right here. There we go. That's my issue. Okay, so I want to line this up again. Hold that down, and then you lift this flap up, and I only want to put adhesive. I only want to put adhesive on the top section. Right here. Okay, so I'm going to grab my SNAIL, and I'm going to get this on here really good. Right there. And now I'm going to press this down. Okay, and now on this side, I only want to do the bottom. Press that down. Okay, and so when I close my card, see, it twists right up and folds down. Voila. Ooh, pretty, right? All right, now I want to glue these on. So let's flip all these up. 1, 2, try not to lose the order they go in. All right, and we're going to put adhesive on all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and let's get these in. So I want to line it up and just get it in here. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 2. So there's going to be a gap, but you want to line it up so it looks a continuous image. So pretty. I love this powder pink. I was not super excited when I first saw it, but now that I'm working with it, I love it, and I really love the paper. Okay. Look at that. So pretty. Sending wishes your way. And seriously, okay, you guys know me. It needs a little bit of bling. I'm going to put just a couple little rhinestones. One there. That's just me. Everything needs some bling. Okay. Pretty. All right, so there's that insert, and that's in. And now what we're going to do is we're going to figure out our designer series paper. So we'll take those last 2 pieces of designer series paper that we have already cut, and we want to take one of them, and you want to line it up on here because we want to sort of measure it on here. Just get it lined up with these 3 edges. So it's how you want it. Flip it over, and then we're going to trace this with the pencil because we need to cut out this V right here. Okay, so you only need to do 1. This here is going to be my bottom piece. That's going to go right there. And then this is going to be my top piece. And so it's going to go this way. So I want to flip it over this way and put it on top. And now I'm going to cut along my V. One and 2. Okay. And now I can glue these in. So I will stick my adhesive, get some up here on the V. Okay. And I want to just kind of line it up. Line it up right there. And press. Okay. And now this one. Okay, so again, I like to line up the bottom, get the bottom and the sides kind of right exactly where I want them, and then press it in, and the V should fit. All right, and now does my, okay, let me get my card folded down. All right. Make sure everything's still lined up. Okay. All right, looks good. And it opens up. So pretty. Okay. Now we want to glue it inside of our card. So let me grab my base here. And I'm going to put adhesive all over the bottom. Make sure you're using, or make sure you're putting it in the right way. And you want to get adhesive up here too. Down here. Make sure you're not putting it upside down. This is the way it goes. All right. So I'm going to line this up. Line this up. Okay. Like this. And press. And now I'm going to put my adhesive on this one. And you could also use the Tombow multi-purpose glue for this. It works really well. All right. And we're going to close this up. And press. And there we go. Okay, so the last thing we want to do is with one of these little scraps that we cut off before, I'm just going to grab my trimmer and I'm just going to trim off this end piece. I want to cut this to 3 3/4 and it should be otherwise perfect. So I'm just going to cut this little end piece off and stick my adhesive on. And I'm going to just put this right here at the bottom. This is just something I like to do so that there's a place to write on the card. You don't have to do this part if you don't want to. I just like to. And you can stamp a sentiment right here if you'd like, but that's just the place to sign the card. So anyway, there we go. So here's my happy birthday pop-up card. Here's the other 2 I did. Ooh, so pretty. Aren't they so pretty? I love that. Okay, so anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and check me out at a2zstamping.com. And you should subscribe to my newsletter so you never miss what's going on over there. Thanks, guys. Bye.